Hi everybody, it's Diane back with some movie stars. There's a surprise, right? Well, when I was making those blank books, which I'm still doing here and there, I wound up with some small cardboard scraps. And in lieu of making really little books, which I could do, but I thought, what about some more of those celebrity Twinchies I made? Which that box is pretty full, but I can cram a couple more in there. And if they don't fit, they don't fit. To refresh your memory, it's movie star images I've printed off the internet, and then we do like a collage mixed media thing. I give everybody a word. I put their names on the back. Yeah, these are all from 23. I don't know if I did any last year. I may not have. I don't remember. They're varnished. Anyway, that's what we're doing. I think it's 8 pieces of cardboard, and so far I could only find 4 people off the top of my head. I'm kind of, yeah, doing this on the, because I'm making more of those books, and I'm in a spot where the glue is drying. So I just decided to do this on a whim. If you're a serious movie buff, you'll know who these people are. If you're a casual movie buff, you'll probably know the women. If you're not a movie buff or you're under probably 40, you won't know any of these people. All right, take a guess. Anybody? Made a lot of movies, silent and talking. Warner Baxter. I know him mostly from, he's the director in 42nd Street. Very good actor. Like I said, he made a ton of movies. He was the Cisco Kid in at least one movie. I don't know if he made more than one of those. And this is the boring Diane looking for background stuff part of this. I don't know what kind of word I want with him. By the way, in that composition glue book video I did recently, and I used part of this from a different magazine, but the same ad, and I was saying, I don't even know what this is for. I guess it's the trims. Well, yeah, it says right down here, Diane, Samuel and Sons is trim. However, I think that points out the fact it's not a great ad. Shouldn't you just, at a glance, know what you're looking at and why you want to buy it? And that's what I think. But well, that's kind of interesting. If you can tell, that is a sepia picture there. I did go through all of these a couple days ago because I had these boards, and to kind of refresh my memory who I had done. So that was actually kind of a nice look back. Well, that probably looks the best, but it's short. Sorry if you could hear my printer there. I just printed these off like 10 minutes ago, and it takes a little bit of time, and then it resets itself. Just long enough so you forget it was on, so it can scare you. That's the way things work, right? Expert craft. Who else do I have here? Oh, that would be good for her. Off kilter. I should find a celebrity that would match. There's a lot of celebrities that would match that, right? Diane, you're not nice. Sorry. Well, this gent, I don't know about this. We'll see when we get to him. You hang on. Unmatched glamour. Well, I would use that for her, except in this movie, and that character, she was as unglamorous as she could possibly get. Actually, shine isn't bad for her. This is kind of weird. Usually I have trouble finding words. I'm going to find words right off the bat. Alright, this may be kind of wrong. But I said this is a little short. What if we added some blue? Just, to get some color going on. Could add a little top and bottom. Which of course will, showcase the fact it's short. So maybe you don't personally want to do that. Plus you're working with little fiddly narrow pieces of paper. It's okay. It looks a little bit like painter's tape. And then I usually put a little doodaddy something like, well, see this one I did not. Yeah, this one's got some colors there. She has some kind of fabric and a lamp, flowers, stars, just abstract pattern there. All right. Well, all right, let's get another one going. Anybody? Now this one, I actually kind of had a hard time deciding on a picture because her career was so long. You can find young pictures of her and pretty old pictures of her. That is Helen Hayes. Well, Helen, I'm not finding a background for you. Now look at all these mother-locked tongue in here. Okay, now did they just put those in there for the photo or something? It's not by a light source. They survive, okay? I guess so. All right, she needs something not so busy. No. Isn't this interesting? Okay. We'll take a poll at the end of this. Have you seen any of these people in a movie? Am I the only one? She's the older woman in Candle Shoe. Did you ever see that movie? It's a old Disney movie from the 70s. That's a good one. Upside down, Diane. Sorry. Okay, that's pretty good. I don't really like the dark on that side. We'll put in a strip of something there. Not dark though. That's interesting. All right, well, all right, I'll worry about a strip of something for her later. Anybody? Gee, cute. That's Paulette Goddard. sorry. And I'm pretty sure that's from the movie Modern Times she made with Charlie Chaplin. That looks like her hair and dress there. Which that is a silent movie, but it came out in 1936. Which, if you know your music history, sorry, movie history, it should have been a talkie by then, but Chaplin wanted to make it a silent film, so he did, because he could do what he wanted. That's pretty good. That's a good one. Well, yeah, it's pretty good. She made a lot of movies, too. She's in The Women. Well, everybody was in that, Diane. Kind of. No, too busy. That's weird. I still don't even know what it is. Just decoration, I guess. A dust catcher in your kitchen. It's probably too busy. Yeah. I think she has a very kind of timeless look. I mean, don't you think that could, she could be an actress today? You wouldn't know. I kind of think so. Oh, boring. Too dark. No, she needs something lighter. All right, let's do that for him. Now, if you're a loyal viewer, or at least one that's been with me since, I don't know, last year, you should know who that is, because I used that exact same picture in another collage, although much bigger. He was one of the mystery people in that paper doll thing, that big saga last year, I think. That's Reginald Denny. He made a gazillion movies. And he was an avid aviator. He was in the Royal Air Force during World War One. Yeah, one. And he got into model airplane flying later and all this kind of stuff. So that's why this word flying or fly, I don't know. I mean, to me, he's more of an actor than an aviator, but that might be kind of cool. So why didn't you fussy cut him out, Diane? Because it's really hard to see in there where the shadow and his face meet, and I didn't want to get it wrong. So we're going to work with it this way, or I'll kind of paint over it to kind of camouflage it. I'm not sure. All right, Paulette, we need a background for you, and then I have to go pause. I have to pause and go do stuff. And while I'm doing stuff, I'll, well, that's nice. I'll do the backgrounds, and then we'll come back and try to find little doodad things. Wow, more Huntington magazines? Yep. And I believe all of the Twinchies that I did, which is a considerable amount, I think it's all magazine. I don't think there's any scrapbook paper or wrapping paper or anything else in it on them. Are you tired? Yes. Trying to fight through it? Yes. There's another weird light thing. She looks kind of dangerous. You have to have a special license to buy that. Come on, folks. Alright, you guys don't want to watch any more of this baloney. I'm going to finish off a background for her, and like I said before, finish the backgrounds, and then we'll come back. Okay, hang on. Okay, I'm back. Everybody has a background and a word, and I'm working on accessories. I couldn't turn the camera on, sorry. But to be honest, you didn't miss too much, but weird light fixtures in this magazine. I'm trying to work on this one, and then I will paint. I don't know what to put with him. And it doesn't have to be a definite flower or anything, even a stripe or something. Well, not a stripe, but a pattern of some sort might work too. Should have a director's clapboard for 42nd Street, huh? No, Diane, because that was a play, not a movie. They don't use clapboards in plays. Sorry. Okay, crew. I'll look at this kind of quickly. If I can't find anything, I'll have to go off by myself again. And that means I came back on and did absolutely nothing, right? Well, I don't have real high hopes for this, but let's see. This scallop shape might be interesting, but I'm not sold on this color, so we'll see. Just a minute. It's okay. Okay, it's something. Might be better than nothing. Paulette, keep your flowers to yourself. Oh, did I? I don't think I mentioned. I did get rid of that brighter blue. It was too bright. I mean, it would have been okay. And I probably could have added, you know, brighter paint and tied it in, but I found that more of a gray blue, so we just grabbed that. I just grabbed that. How many people do you have helping you, Diane? Nobody. That's why this is taking so long. Well, I don't know what this has to do with him. What about this inner circle star thing? That I'm not cutting out too well because I'm trying to hurry. I'll fix it. Well, actually, it's kind of cool. It's interesting. All right, I don't know about Reggie here. I don't really have an accessory thing. It's just that border stripe. It needs a little airplane, which I don't think I'm going to find in an HG. All right, this is really weird. What about a couple of these circles or ellipses? You know, sort of like, I don't know. It kind of looks like space. Not that he ever went out of space, but, you know, up in the sky. And they look like, you know, there's clouds in there. That's kind of interesting. All right, Helen, where did your word go? I keep losing stuff lately. I trimmed it down to expert. All right, people, I'm going to put these together and then we'll come back and do some painting if I didn't lose my paint. Okay, hang on. Okay, we're up to something more interesting, I think. It's painting. These four finished. I went ahead and made some with the rest of the cardboard. You can see those as we come. Slight differences. I split this wicker thing and added a little border in there. I'm not real wild about how you can see a little bit of that. I think I'm going to take that out with paint. She just would not work. Yeah, Paulette was all kinds of trouble. I finally decided to take that tan just completely out. I put something else over it. I put flowers here. You can still see part of that jewelry flower in the background. I think that's better. I don't know if you can tell. That's dark green. It's not black. The other one was black. I was trying to fudge it towards the edge and it split. So I pulled out a new one. Fortunately, I had seen the same type of ad in another magazine. And so I went and found it and replaced the word. I did add another circle thing. She got some flowers. She got some flowers. Helen got flowers. Isn't that nice? Okay. I usually am just sort of schmutzing and dripping and spattering just to add a little something. What about a little white spag? I guess I don't have to cap every bottle, do I? We'll be here all day again. And I didn't lose any words or anything. That hers was, it just shoved over there on the side. I don't know, is that good enough? I mean, she got flowers. What more does she want? What about the pink that I so diligently capped on the right side here? I didn't trim that. Okay, I have tins above me on a shelf that do hold things. And now every time a truck goes by on the main drag here, one of them is rattling. Kind of irritating. Okay, Reggie. Well, you could probably use black around the edges because of the black around those circles. And after these are painted and dry, then I will varnish them and put paper on the back, like a decorative paper. And I print out their names and put it on the backs. Why are you closing this? Well, you know why? Because I'm thinking as I'm doing it. Anybody else need some black? Probably once I dunk my brush in the water. Well, why don't we do some white spatters on him too? Hopefully it won't be as blobby as on Helen. Yeah, it's less blobby. You can't see it. It's all water. It's okay. It's not bad. What do you think? Is it adequate? I think for now it's adequate. Okay. What did we get? Oh, it's from the edges there. Oh, let's see how much of a mess we can make while we're at it too. All right, Paulette. Yeah, you have a lot of nerve. Let's put a little white on her edge here. Well, since it says or reads shine, and there's that little bit of gold there, I did bring up just bronze or gold. Emperor's Gold. It's metallic. In case you weren't getting that. It will dry metallic. And naturally, a lot of these words are not exactly straight. I don't know what her problem is. Okay, we'll leave her alone for now. Well, now, some of you should know who that is if you're my age. It's Liz Taylor. Yeah, I don't know how I didn't do her up until now. Do her? Make a card with her image on it. Maybe Diane should nix this audio and do a voiceover. Okay. All right, Warner. That's kind of tricky. You could probably do red, but that's a little risky because it's so bright and generally speaking kind of garish. What if we just do little whites here and there? And like I said, I didn't like that edge. Okay. Anybody? Any older people might know him. I mean, he was quite big. It's the pictures that got small. And that's one of the most famous movie quotes ever. I'm not even going to tell you what that is. This is Dick Powell. And coincidentally enough, it's not why I chose him, but he was also in 42nd Street. He started his career as a singer, dancer, musical romance type actor. But then he moved on and did directing, and I forget if he produced. I don't know, but yeah, he was quite the Renaissance person. So that's why we put more is more. He was married to June Allison, if anybody knows who she was. She's an actress too. Okay, for now. And I would hope everybody knows who they are. Although I suppose the further we get on in time, it's Abbott and Costello. But Lou Abbott, yeah. Lou Abbott, don't listen to Diane. Bud Abbott and Lou Costello. And if you've never seen Abbott Costello meet Frankenstein, go see it. By the way, these semicircles, you have one wild guess what they actually were in a magazine? It was the backs of upholstered dining room chairs, and the table was there, and you could just see the tops of them. That's what that is. All right, Liz, what else do you want? How about some white? That's pretty good. Okay, how about a little yellow because of the word background color there. Maybe I should do that on the bottom right instead of white. Yeah. I wasn't really going to fill up all of these cards right now, but I had time last night, so I was trying to think of some more celebs, and as long as I came up with people, we went with it. All right, this next dude was pretty big in his time too. Actually, he made a couple movies with her. Older folks must know who that is. Montgomery Clift. This is a twisted candle here on the side. I kind of like that the way it is. I don't want to tinker with it too much. Oh, yeah, we are making a mess. I think I'm going to have to clean my counter when I'm done here. Well, all right, good question. Now we have these kind of jaggedy zigzag lines and then these straight gray lines. So what do you want to do on the side? This is brand new paint. It's like separated. I don't know. Well, we're not going to do anything because this paint isn't working. The paint isn't working. Boy, there's lots of quotable insights from me today, isn't there? All right. We'll see if I want to go over that later because the paint isn't working. All right, this next lady, I would be willing to bet you know who that is. This is a young picture of her. You know her as an older lady with reddish hair, well, red hair, garish makeup over her eyes. Are you zooming in? If you look at her cheeks there, you might know who it is. Agnes Moorehead. She played Endora on Bewitched, the TV series. Want to see again now that I said that? In case you don't know, she had quite an acting career before that. She's Kane's mother in Citizen Kane. Okay. That's kind of nice too, the way it is. Maybe just a little spatters. Okay, I like it. Alright, I think Bud and Lou need... Their black really faded out there. It must have been kind of watery. Name their names in Abbott Costello Meet Frankenstein. Their character names. It's Wilbur and Chick. Alright. Okay. I think that's it for now. I may add a little bit here and there, but you get the idea. You mess up your counter, you get paint on yourself, you schmutz, you spatter, you say paint won't work and stuff like that, and then you go finish these off and come back. Okay, hang on. Okay, they're finished. The counter's relatively clean. So here's the 4 we started with. Helen and her flowers. They are varnished. The light's not cooperating. They're varnished. Reginald Denny. Paulette Goddard. That did turn out nice in the end. Like I said, I had trouble with that one. Warner Baxter. And then these. Dick Powell. Liz. Abbott and Costello. I did put everybody's names on the back and a paper of some sort. I try to sort of match. Monty and Agnes Moorehead. These are fun to do, and I have said this before, but in case you haven't seen one of these videos, if you're not into movie stars, you could do your family or ancestors, singers, musicians, pets, yourself at different ages. That would be kind of interesting. Think about it. Okay, everybody, thanks for watching. I hope you have a very nice day.